Leftovers.
And we are back.
It's time.
It's
Movie
time.
Leftovers time. What's up, dude?
What's going on, man?
You
It
know-
is frozen over here.
Cold. Yeah.
Yes,
It's that time of year. Thanksgiving is next week.
it is. Yeah.
So, holy shit, the year's just flown by. But yeah, it's getting chilly down here. We were talking off air a little bit. It's obviously much colder where it is for you. But the stark difference from real hot to real cold has got me chilly AF. So, yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm
it's-
excited
it- it's-
about today, though, for sure. This is my... I'm going to put it in my top 20 all time.
Oh, really? I didn't know it was so high for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that for me as well. I love this movie. You know, I've seen this maybe a dozen times, and it is funny as hell every time.
Yeah.
We are talking about the gem, the glorious film that is UHF.
UHF. Yep.
Yes.
UHF.
It is a treasure to behold. I'm sorry, what was that?
I said UHF.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. It's a great film. It came out in 1989. Stars one William J. Yankovic. No, Weird Al.
Well, I
it
suppose that requires a little unpacking. We were going to do the new Weird Al movie that just came out that stars Daniel Radcliffe, and I think we probably should at some point soon. I couldn't get any of the apps to work on any of my devices in order to actually watch that. So we thought, well, let's just go back and watch this one, which was his first movie.
Yeah, we definitely tried to get that to work. I still cannot get that to work. Apparently, from what I've read, it's not uncommon that it doesn't work on a smart TV or a Fire Stick, but if you go to the Roku website, it should play just fine. So I have not tried that yet. So
yeah, me either. But this is it. This is Weird Al's movie. I would say it is kind of inching toward the height of his powers. Like it was a badge of honor for most celebrities and musicians to have their songs parodied by Weird Al. They kind of let him get away with whatever he wanted at this point, and this is what came out. And while it's not everyone's cup of tea, this movie holds up for me still. So
he's had so many peaks and valleys in his career. It's kind of wild. So, but the movie originally came out in 1989. I think we can both say that we just love it. So that's our basic review of it.
Well, I had a couple early thoughts for you. So pick this apart,
go for it.
Right? The first one is I am fairly confident, with absolutely nothing to prove it, that this movie inspired both Anchorman and Impractical Jokers. And the reason I say that is because the newscast at the affiliate at Channel 8 mirrors the archetypes for Anchorman almost identically, right on down to some of their mannerisms. And then Impractical Jokers, I think, was spawned from one of those fake TV spots they did where the cameraman like trips the old lady coming out of the grocery store, which is frame by frame perfect for one of the season 1 Impractical Jokers episodes. So I feel like somebody was watching this and was just like, holy shit, there's a story in here. And I saw that and I was like, oh fuck. And I just wrote those two things down right away.
I mean, I don't think you're wrong, you know? That seems very probable to me. But I don't know for sure that that's the case. I do know that this movie, to me, felt very much like internet culture before internet culture.
Totally.
I mean, this is just a connection of TikToks and sketch comedy in a movie.
Yeah, I mean, even if you go 10, 15 years past when this was released, you could easily have seen a sketch TV show out of all the stuff they're doing on Adult Swim. Or you could, you know what I mean? Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was the Mighty Boosh before the Mighty Boosh.
Yeah. Before we were drinking Baileys out of shoes.
That's facts.
Yes. Yeah. The consensus for the critics UHF is bizarre, freewheeling, and spotty, though its Antarctic or yeah,
Anarchic. Yeah.
spirit, yes, cannot be denied. Man, I cannot talk today. Critics gave it a 61%. Audience gave it a 77. It is PG-13. Came out in 89, like we said.
Way higher than I
Dude,
thought on the tomato meter. The audience score definitely makes sense.
yeah, the audience score makes sense to me. Um, so do you want to guess what the budget was for this movie?
Oh man. I don't think they cut him loose with more than $5 million, but
Okay.
I'm gonna go between 5 and 10 and say 7.
Okay. You would be overshooting, buddy.
Yeah.
It was a $5 million budget,
Okay.
but the real question is, how much did it make? Look, was it profitable?
No, I don't think it was. Was it?
So
I mean,
it
it's
raked
Weird
in.
Al. Like, I know, like my brother loved this. You know,
Yeah.
he was the right target audience for it too back then.
I loved it too. Like I was right in the sweet spot for when this came out. The box office was 6.1 million.
Oh, they
So-
barely made it back, huh?
Well, here's the thing. It really depends on how it was distributed.
I was going to say,
And-
was it a wide release? Yeah.
Was it a wide release, and what were the agreements with the distributors?
Right.
Because even though like technically numbers wise it looks like it made money, it may not have made money. We don't know the contracts.
But I also think this probably killed at Blockbuster.
Yes, it had a huge cult following.
Yeah, I bet.
So I'm thinking it for sure in the long term made money.
yeah.
But yeah, just for what it is. So to give you an idea in today's dollars,
Sure.
that 5 million would be worth about 12 million today.
Yeah.
And that box office total would be the 6.1 million would be about 14.6 today. So,
I don't think you could make this movie again today for $12 million.
I mean, Weird Al would have to take a haircut on his payment. Like
That-
he'd have to.
That's what I'm saying. Like, unless he wrote it and then it was a passion project, like a Deadpool approach to it, where people were like, "Yeah, just put me in and whatever," and we all take the union minimum or whatever from the Screen Actors Guild. I don't know that this would. I mean, maybe.
Well, so I just looked this up because essentially he has made something recently, right? The Weird Al movie, Weird, right? And that too is his own creation. He wrote it. There's actually a Funny or Die sketch from about 10 years ago that is essentially the trailer for
Oh, no
Weird.
kidding.
Yeah, I'll send that to you. It's
Yeah.
it's interesting. Like if you watch that trailer, that Funny or Die sketch, and then you watch the trailer, there are scenes for scene in there. It's kind of crazy. Yeah.
Perfect.
But Weird, the Weird Al film starring Daniel Radcliffe was made for a budget of 8 million. So
well, there
yeah,
you go.
he could do UHF then for about 5 to 8.
Because I was thinking, like, I mean, I don't know what it costs to rent a helicopter for like one of those daydream sequences, but I imagine that's $200,000 a day, or $8,000 to $10,000 an hour. You know, so it's like that type, just props. That type of stuff adds up. But yeah, if they're willing to make a Daniel Radcliffe movie for 8, then this could definitely be done for 12.
Well, and nowadays you don't rent the helicopter. You rent a studio with a green screen that has a helicopter prop that you sit
yeah.
in.
True,
You know?
but like if you were just to go scene by scene and then like
Yeah.
port all of what they did back into today, because they had computer graphics that were pretty cutting edge for this movie, especially when he does the Beverly Hillbillies dream sequence or whatever, which could easily be recreated much better with today's compute stacks. But that was absolutely a real helicopter. It was absolutely in flight. So yeah, I suppose if you CG'd a hell of a lot more than they did now, you could probably get away with it.
Oh yeah, and the way CG technology is nowadays, it'd be so much easier. We are putting some trivia facts for those watching.
I like
It is
that.
pretty fun. Yeah. But yeah, man.
I saw that too.
Yeah. You're reacting to the trivia. The trivia is that one of the fight scenes, kind of, some staples get thrown into one of the thugs' faces, and the staple constantly changes position.
Yeah, between
So-
shots, the staple's in a new spot on his face. It's hilarious.
Yeah. So, it's a great movie. Let's talk
Nice.
a little bit about some reviews over on Rotten
Oh yeah.
Tomatoes.
To the plus
Do you
minus
want to go?
here.
Do you want to go 5 star or 1 star first?
Let's hit us with the 5 star.
Okay. So for 5 stars, we got Robert P. And he says, if you love parodies, spoofs, and feel goods movies, Weird Al Yankovic, please do yourself a favor and watch this.
Yeah.
So Robert liked it. Solid response, I think.
I also would have added, if that was my review, this is a perfect snapshot in time as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Whereas Andrew A. apparently somebody's got a dirty diaper here,
okay.
and Andrew A. only gave it 1.5 or half a star.
Okay. Shit.
Okay,
Here we go.
this somebody does not love fun, and it says, I watched it once when I was younger, and I remember kind of liking it, but I remember nothing specific about it because it's pretty forgettable. Watching again now in my 30s, I didn't care for it. I made it about halfway through before giving up. I didn't laugh once. It's not very clever or original. All the humor has been done many times before.
Yeah, but it started here.
Right.
It
I don't think
really
that's the
did.
thing Andrew takes into account. That this
Like,
is
I did an exercise for TV spots, like
uh-huh.
things that you couldn't probably do today. Probably couldn't do Raoul's Wild Kingdom coming to you live from my
No.
apartment. I don't think you could teach poodles to fly.
No, you can. Or the pile of dogs at the.
Yeah. Crazy Ernie's Cars, where he's about to club a baby seal to make a better deal. I don't
Yes.
think you could let that fly. Things you should do again. Town Talk, Plots RS
Yes.
Mortuary Service, Spatula City. This movie
So
is chock full of gems. Like the opening sequence, he's chasing down an Oscar in a dream
Yeah.
sequence. Like it's perfect.
I was reading that the Spatula City billboard
Yeah.
was placed in some random Midwest town and was up for several months.
That's great. So they're just like next exit to Spatula City, and they're all
Yes!
driving around looking for it. This is great. Oh, that's perfect.
I just love the idea of being on a road trip and you're just like, what the hell?
Yeah, Spatula City. Nothing says "I love you" like the
Like
gift
a
of a
spatula.
spatula. If you can't tell just by our inability to keep our shit together, we both really like this movie a lot.
Oh, this
I
movie's
think
fantastic.
I
I love it.
exactly that picture in time, especially since like I don't think if you were to ask an audience under the age of 20 what a UHF station is, they would probably give you a correct answer for it. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it is definitely a period piece for the time, but it was executed really well. So Andrew, I disagree. I think it all started here, man. I think you have a dirty diaper.
Also, the thing to remember is so many famous people are in this before they were famous.
Big time. Yeah.
You know, Fran Drescher's in there before she
Yep.
was the nanny. Michael
Yeah.
Richards before he was Kramer, and then after he got canceled.
And then what's her name? Terry.
Yeah, Victoria Jackson.
Victoria Jackson. Yeah. I mean, they had like the perennial 80s, like, oh my God, cute girls on the silver screen were all kind of stacking up there too. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's nuts.
yeah, I love
It's
this
nuts.
movie.
Yeah. Well, why don't we take our break, and then we'll
All
come
right.
back and we'll give our pitches for what we would do with UHF.
Let's do it. Just like that.
Just like that, baby.
Movie leftovers. We're back.
We are back.
Yeah.
So, do you want to go first?
Yeah, because this one was really hard for me.
Okay.
And I think you're going to go a lot further than I'm going to go. Hopefully you like the cast. This is probably going to be a remake for me.
Okay.
I also believe George Newman could still be played by Al Yankovic, or he could at least be the principal producer on this, the executive producer. I think he should write this again.
Yeah, I think so.
The thing is, like I mentioned with the perfect period piece, it's difficult to find a technology that's still hanging on by its last grasp that everyone can connect with. So I still stuck to TV station.
Okay.
The only difference in the remake is that it'll be on the brink of failure, having lost an affiliate status from years prior.
Okay.
And so basically all of the remaining stations that are left in town, and it's going to be a much larger city. I know this takes place in LA, but they really did not make LA a central character in this movie.
Right. It was just anywhere.
The way I feel like you could probably make LA a central character. So all the remaining TV stations are really vicious because streamers are now starting threatening everybody. Right. So it's like on the bottom rung of the bottom rung, not really an affiliate anymore, but it's also not a UHF station. And the reason I left it that way is for one line, and that's that I love you can win a TV station by bluffing a pair of sevens in a card game. Like I, for some reason, I still kind of feel like that has to be the premise. So I think it's going to be a remake. Here's the cast. I'm keeping it a movie. I'm keeping it probably the same length, maybe a little shorter. We mentioned the TV spots, Keep in Town Talk, Plots R Us, probably Spatula City, although it might not be a spatula. I would probably have more fun developing new TV spots for the commercials within the movie than I would actually writing the script. So here's the remake cast. R.J. Fletcher, the evil bad guy. That's going to be Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
I just want him to be a nasty TV executive that's a pompous dick. And I think he could do it. Satan appears in the credits.
Nice.
Because he's on George Newman's Town Talk. I want Jesse Eisenberg in there as Satan for one line. Look, all I was trying to say is, well, shut up, you pinhead, and then just throw water on him, and then that's it. So Satan, we're keeping. Aunt Esther, I'd like Judith Light. I want Judith Light in there. And then for Uncle Harvey, Scott Baio.
All right.
Yeah. So early 60s. I know that Judith Light is like in her early 70s, but I still think you can make that work.
Yeah, I think so.
Conan the Librarian.
Uh-huh.
We're getting the Undertaker in there. I want the Undertaker.
Yes!
Conan the Librarian.
He'll do it too.
So for Philo, I really struggled with Philo. But I like Spencer Reed from Criminal Minds. The skinny guy with the kind of long curly hair.
Dude, Philo was the first one I had. I'm surprised you struggled.
I kept scratching name.
Okay.
It was crazy. Pamela
I wonder
Finkelstein,
if when I tell you mine, I wonder if you'll be like, I had that on my list.
for sure. Pamela Finkelstein was the first person I recast. I want Kat Dennings in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good
I
call.
think she'd be perfect, like really pissed off secretary that she can't move up.
Yeah.
Stanley Spadowski, I'm going Jack Black, kind of a layup on that one. But I think he's like can play sullen, but then also like stupid, crazy, funny, and relatable.
Yeah.
Terry, the love interest, I want Kirsten Dunst in there.
Okay.
Bob, or also Bobo the Clown. I would like Jonah Hill to be the best friend character.
Okay.
And then for George Newman, and this is probably going to shock some folks, I cast Sean William Scott in there for George Newman. Yep. We have some technical difficulties for the audience listening. It sounds like an earbud has died.
My earbud went out.
Yeah. Can you still hear me then?
Now I hear you. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Risky to cast George Newman this way, but I went Sean William Scott. I think Sean William Scott would be a pretty good George Newman for all this.
I actually met him once.
Did you really? What'd you think?
He was a cool dude. Super nice. Yeah.
I haven't met too many celebrities. I met Sean Austin.
Okay.
Who plays Samwise Gamgee. And I met Maynard James Keenan from Tool. And I also met Wee Man. Who I have a picture
nice.
Of. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
So that's it. Not too original, not too out there. I like the cast, but like this movie's so good as is. It's really hard to.
It is a treasure, man. It's a treasure.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to fuck the plot up too much, but there it is.
So I also would do a reboot, a reimagining, kind of. Maybe, let's say a reimagining. Being that I'm somebody who's worked in TV, I know a little bit about these things.
Right. This is why I wanted you to go last.
Yeah. So UHF stations really more or less do not exist anymore.
Correct.
They kind of do in that there's now over-the-air digital channels but they're nationwide networks. They're not small independent
Yep.
UHF stations like they used to be. So the closest analogy that we have to something like that nowadays is we still have public access.
Mm-hmm.
Public access is federally mandated. I used to run a public access station, so I would turn this to a public access channel,
Okay.
right? And the premise I would put is that the because the way it works nowadays is the cable company has to help fund the public access channel, and then the
Yep.
cities,
That's in
kind of
turn why
decide.
we pay what we pay for basic cable, right? Where it's because part
That's
of
part of
that,
it,
it's
yes.
like FCC, some of it goes to the city, some of it goes to public access and all that stuff.
So yeah, they go to what's called a PEG station, Public Education and Government. That's why
Mm-hmm.
like the local school district has got their alerts
Yep.
on cable, and the whole idea is that the local community, even though they're getting national networks, the local community can still keep up with what's going on locally. That's why they have those things. It's supposed to be in your cable bill. It's called a franchise fee. It's
Yep.
generally like $1 or $2. That's what's supposed to go to fund these channels. So basically, what I'm going to do is that the cable
Crazy when your
channel,
cable bill is like $150 and $1 of that
right?
goes to, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's only like $1 or $2. Like
Yeah.
it really is minimal, but yeah. So what cable channels have been doing lately, or networks, and this is real, they have tried to consolidate the public access channels and get rid of them and do like a regional public access
Mm-hmm.
to kind of reduce what they have to do. Um, so it's making public access go away, which sucks because it should be there. It's a fun thing. A lot of like your public access channels in the country, you can go and rent equipment from them
Mm-hmm.
and learn to use television products. So it's fun and it's great. So it is a benefit for the community. That's off my. No, I'll get off my soapbox. But
Yeah, that's personal experience, by the way, talking for
that
those
is
listening.
personal
Yeah.
experience. I know. Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'll use that information and say that a public access channel is about to be removed, right? Unless that they can prove in front of the city council that they are a benefit to the community. So George Newman has recently taken over this public access channel because nobody wanted the job because it's going to go away and he keeps messing up just like in the original movie. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a temporary job, but now he's fallen in love with the community. He's fallen in love with doing this, and now he wants to save the channel and show what a benefit it is. That's how we'll get all the goofy shows too, because they'll all be like local shows. We'll come up with all sorts of goofy ideas.
I think
And
when we revisit this pod sometime down
yeah,
the road, we need to dream up the what we would put in your script as programming and like
oh
write
yeah,
pitches for programming. I would love to
oh
do
yeah.
that.
Well, and also what I want to do is I want to have like a caravan of cameos at the end of different celebrities
Oh
and
yeah,
goofy characters as like the public giving their testimony as to why to save the channel.
that'd be sick.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the end goal. I think that'll be a lot of fun instead of raising money. So my cast, we'll start with Philo
Okay.
because he
Okay.
was my favorite. For Philo, I really thought there was only one answer man, and that was Christopher Walken.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
For
Christopher Walken was name number one that I scratched
yeah,
off. Where I was like,
yeah,
I don't know. I love that.
yeah. It's just too perfect. Yeah. For Aunt Sue, that was the aunt.
Hmm.
I picked Mindy Kaling. She was in The Office. She's
Oh
doing
yes. Yeah.
yeah, she's doing the new Velma series.
Hmm.
For Uncle Harvey, I wanted somebody that could be a little bit interesting. Let's put it that way. So I picked Colin Farrell.
Okay.
Yeah. For Terry, George Newman's girlfriend, I picked Ellie Kemper
Okay.
from The Impossible Kimmy Schmidt.
Yep.
For RJ Fletcher, I wanted somebody who could just be a jerk. Like, you just see him and you want to punch him. So I picked Neil Patrick Harris.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Pamela Finkelstein, I wanted somebody who is good at being frustrated, but also a good actress and has range. So I went with She-Hulk herself, Tatiana Maslany.
Yeah. Yeah.
For Bobo the Clown,
Yeah.
I went with Donald Glover.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-oh. Bobo's been eating Yappy's dog treats.
I read in one of the trivias that when he got hit with the frying pan, they really made contact, and that's
Yeah.
why he looks so pissed off.
They actually hit him in the face with a frying pan.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And they only did one take because they were like, "Yeah, we're not doing that. That's too perfect."
Yeah, I don't I don't know that I'd want them to do more takes if I was David
Hit
Bowie.
with the frying pan.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. For George Newman, the tendency was to go goofy, but really in this movie, he's more of the straight man, and everyone else is goofy, which is kind of surprising.
Well, I might
He
push
has his
back a
like
little
daydreams.
bit. But just beyond that, like the part where he's like, hands him a crowbar and he's like, just bash my head right in. Like he's kind of out there and stuff too. In a
Kind
weird
of,
way.
but not as much as everyone else. He's
Yeah.
far more reined in. So I went with Cal Penn, Kumar himself, to
Nice.
be George Newman.
I like it.
And then for Stanley Spadowski, I wanted somebody with just manic energy.
Okay.
So I went with Charlie Day.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So that's my cast.
Nice. I think I would have a lot of fun actually writing programming for this. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. Having run a public station and doing stuff like this, yeah, it's a blast.
Right.
Yeah. Like I'll give the audience an idea. One of the shows that we had tried to create a while ago for fun was Nap Time with Kittens. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to get an old Victorian style bedroom, like 4-post bed, canopy. The host would be dressed like an old school nightgown with a giant sleeping cap with a little puffball.
Yeah.
And we would have them go, it's time for a nap. Nap time with kittens. Have a giant cartoon alarm clock. Set it for about 10 minutes. Put it on the bed. Pretend to be asleep. We would put cans of tuna in the bed to make the cats kind of stay around and play. So that's how the cats would be engaged. And we wanted to get the local humane society to let us use cats that would be available for adoption after being on TV. So,
Nice.
yeah.
I don't know if there's a clear chat feature for the Restream Studio, but feel free to clear chat if you want. I just did
Yes,
it on
I do
Twitch.
see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just banned that user on Twitch.
It's looks like it's YouTube, so I'm blocking them.
Ah, perfect. Yep.
Yeah.
It's like they're not on our side or my side, but
Yeah.
anyway, this movie, for those that haven't watched it, like I realize there's some bits of questionable material where if you're not easily super offended by anything, it is fun and a slapsticky, honest to goodness, just trying to crack a dry humor joke throughout the movie. Like I think it's in 137 minutes or something like that. I would check it out. I highly recommend it. This is one of my all times. So
It's a blast. I'm so glad we did it.
yeah.
I cannot wait. Yeah. But we should let people know our next movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
This
so-
was your call because he's like, we should do a holiday themed movie. I'm like, agree. He's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, no idea.
Yeah. Well, we were going to do a holiday theme movie, and then we
Yeah.
decided we want to ride that sweet SEO action that is
There you go.
going to be coming out. So for next week, I don't know if we'll do it live next week. We may tape, we may do something. But
Yeah.
you'll get a new episode next week. We're going to do Willow, the old classic.
Yep.
Since the new show is right around the corner, figure let's look at the original.
And for perspective, we're going from one of my favorite movies to one of my least favorite movies. 1 week.
Really?
later. Oh, I hate this film. So I can't wait to do it and rip it apart and rewrite it.
Okay.
I just can't wait. This way, Peck. Nah, I'm over it already. Let's go.
All right. Fantastic. Dude, I don't think I've seen Willow since it first came out.
It's brutal.
So,
it's
okay.
brutal. Yeah.
I can't wait then to just hate it.
You know, honestly, like any 80s fantasy movie, of any
Uh huh.
kind, I'm probably out on, generally speaking. Like, I didn't really
Right.
care for the Labyrinth either. So there's that. But yeah,
I like the Labyrinth, man. Dance Magic Dance.
not me.
Oh yeah. No. It's good. It's the power of the babe. The babe with the
Hmm.
power. Yeah.
That's it.
All right, man. Well, we'll be back next week.
We will.
Thanks everybody for listening.
Awesome.
All right.
See you.